35 years now, UK. Before about 25 years in East Africa.
Amita.
I'm Amita, and I teach a bit and I write a bit. I live in Panjim, Miramar.
She's written a novel for Harper Penguin called A Spoke in the Wheel. It's a novel set in the time of the Buddha. Very nicely written.
Is it available?
It's available here, I think, no?
We can read it as a school, it's okay.
But very nicely written. You can just glide through it.
And she teaches at architecture college.
So her father is also working on a novel, freedom fighter. He's written a novel actually, and he's now working on non-fiction. His novel is 600 pages of mangoes and monsoons. No.
I have a very common name. Just now I saw one. This is me, Richard.
And Cabral will be on some other book.
I like looking at
Loudly.
I like looking at books.
He has also authored them. Tell about your book. It's a history of, his PhD thesis is on history of Goan education. And he's also published it as a book. We fight with him because he chose Jaipur and not Goa today. That's my own personal interest.
That's the next one.
Yeah.
No, he's working on something else.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about me. I used to be a bit of a journalist once upon a time, a bit of a photographer, still a few years earlier than that. And I like a lot of things about East Africa, especially the places, the names of the places, rather than the places. And I've tried to place them, if you say you're from Sangolda, like in Goa, or Nakuru, Kisumu, so you say Jinja.
Yeah.
This sort of.
Yeah.
No, in Africa it's not linked to caste. No, not Africa.
Joel is being very modest. He's a
Very
veteran
right.
journalist.
Yeah, that's right.
He's written this amazing series
Yeah.
of on Goan villages.
That's right, yes.
Yes.
Many years ago I suggested that should be printed in book form, all the village voices. I suggested that in Goa today, some years ago.
He's a good photographer as well.
Yeah,
He's done a lot of work for the net. So,
too modest to admit
so if
that.
you search
Yeah,
anything,
he's too modest. He's hiding
if you
from
search anything on anyone, you'll find something that he had posted many years back.
I'm sure, yeah.
I was looking for some Sushant Kakade or something like that. Fellow you were editing in one book, and your post was there. Has a baby in Germany. That's the only post on him.
And
that I
he
could
also
find.
used to write Romy Koki Kyat scripts, which doesn't talk about Joel.
My name is Mervyn Marcial. I come from, well, I'm a Goan, but you could call me the prodigal son actually, because I've come to Goa after many years. I'm ashamed to say that. I was born in East Africa, in Kenya, and I've lived in England now for over 40 years. So I've come to this country from England actually. I'm least qualified to be amidst this rather, highly intelligent group actually. I've got nothing I can say, to my credit, apart from one solitary book that I wrote some 25 years ago on my experiences in East Africa, my life in Kenya. And one of the reasons I wrote that book was because all the books that have been written in East Africa are about the European, the white man's contribution, as though we Goans or Indians didn't exist at all. Without us, they couldn't have, the country couldn't have survived, and that's why I wrote my book. It was not for any other reason. So, apart from that, that's about. I still have a great love for the people of East Africa and Kenya in particular. Still keep in touch with them. Sadly, I do have love for Goa as well, but I must admit I'm very, very ignorant, and I'm ashamed to admit that, of a lot of, the books on Goa and things. I write for a magazine which I've just given Thread called Old Africa, which is really a collection of reminiscences of people who have lived in the old Africa. We should have something like that for old Goa, where people, the old generation have gone, and then we've got nothing. The tangibles of their life, the life they led, how they lived. We talk about this, my friend and I, every night. How do they manage? That sort of thing. So I hope someone will take up that challenge. Thank you.
Mervin's family also features in one of the wartime stories.
In Selman's book. I lost my parents during the war at sea. The boat in which they were traveling from Bombay to East Africa was torpedoed by Japanese.
No, not Lusitania.
No. Tilawa, SS Tilawa.
The Indian ship?
No,
British Indian?
It's a British BI ship. Yeah.
Tilawa.
So I lost 5 members of my family and 3 brothers. We were survived. We were orphaned overnight. When I say orphaned, we were very young at the time. We didn't know where our next, meal was going to come from or who was going to educate us. But I pay tribute here to my maternal grandfather from Moira, who really supported us, came to the rescue. And when we were young, we didn't know what it meant. We felt the grief and all that, but we didn't think we'd have to struggle for education or whatever. So,
and the other side of the story is with Dan, because that you'll tell when your introduction comes up, about the Germans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
U-boats and all.
I can of it. But your story is in Selma
It is.
Cavallo's book.
It is.
Yeah, right. I read it. There.
There's a picture of me when I was very young, among the African warriors.
She makes a good job of telling the story.
Please come.
She's done an excellent job.
Did you study at St. Thomas High School?
I did. My last.
I forgot.
Yeah? Were you in St. Thomas's?
No. We have corresponded. My name is Cecil Pinto.
What? Oh, God.
It's an E moment.
We'll record it for history.
Well.
Anti-emo.
Over Edward's Forest.
Yes, you sent us a nice
The original
letter.
testimonial.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely to meet you.
Okay.
Small world.
Your introduction.
Cecil Pinto.
World famous?
World famous all over Goa and coastal Karnataka.
No, doctor, don't simply say. Doctor will contest that. She's from coastal Karnataka. She's never heard of you.
No, it's like
Okay, she's out of the loop.
the weather report. And I deliver flowers for a living. And I also write a humor column every Thursday in Government of Time.
And he also runs Goa Writers.
I am the moderator, one of the many moderators.
No.
of
So
Goa
dictate.
and I made
He
a
has
documentary
made
on
a doc.
That's yours.
With Isabella Santa Rita Vaz.
Anyway, that's about it.
He's published Dominic's Goa.
I would like to make a point. This is the inaugural meeting, but in future I would like that I can talk without being recorded.
We'll cut. If anyone has objection to this, no?
YouTube tomorrow.
If anyone has objection, we'll cut. Only those who have no. I know it will.
No, but then give us freedom to talk.
Okay.
She's nodding. Everyone's nodding.
Are you going to do this every
Yeah.
They are painful.
No, inaugural.
Okay.
There
There are hidden cameras also.
Hidden camera. Hey, don't come on here.
I feel like an interloper here because I'm basically from coastal Karnataka. I've been living in Goa for 20 years.
No boundaries.
What's the name?
All are welcome.
I'm Sharmila Rao. And
Dentist.
I'm a dentist by profession, but
You
you've
used
heard.
to write a lot, no?
I do write. That's my tradition. I write on anything that offends me, and I hope someday I'll have a parallel column, no, with Malais to Once and One and all. Pushwan Singh used to have it. Something like that. But then, right now I'm working with theatre, so I need to know more of Goa, and I think this is the best ground where I can come to historic Goa.
Doctor has a blog on Suleka.
You also have a book, don't you have a book?
No, I'm too lazy for that.
Okay. Yes.
I blog on Suleka.
Well, my name is Dan Driscoll, Irish name. I come from 5 or 6 generations of Irish people living in Canada. So we pretty well haven't forgotten Ireland. My grandmother would say, dear old Ireland, but she herself had never seen Ireland. I've just taken the tour,
Yeah.
I met my wife in Canada way back in 1966-67. And we were married in 72 in Canada. But about 2 years after we were married, I discovered she was from Goa. All I really knew was she was an Indian, you know, and I didn't know much about Goa. I hardly knew of the existence of the place. So one day I said to her, you know, what part of India are you from? And then I found out it was Goa. And before long, of course, when we'd go out for a drive, we'd come to a very beautiful, over a hill, and there'd be something lovely. And my wife would say, oh, how beautiful, just like India.
Right.
So I began to get the message. And we came over here and came down here on the Konkan Shakti boat in 1973, I guess, was our first trip here.